The banquet hall of Lord Varzan was dripping with wealth. Glowing crystal vines, levitating platters, and gold-dipped weapons on every wall. Laughter echoed from reptilian nobles and cybernetic barons who feasted without care. Among them stood Davin Holt, a rugged human engineer from the frontier colonies. He looked out of place in his patched flight jacket and dust-stained boots, but he didn't flinch. He had come to negotiate trade rights for his settlement, and hoped the alien lords would take him seriously. Instead, they mocked him. A human engineer? One of the barons sneered. What will he trade? Dirt and old engine parts. Lord Varzan, towering and crimson-scaled, let out a slow, guttural chuckle. Let's test a human's boldness. He clapped his claws, and 2 guards wheeled in a hover chair, sleek, black, and humming faintly. In it sat a girl, alien yes, but beautiful in a ghostly, quiet way. Her skin was pale violet, her long silver hair braided with memory beads, and her eyes, blank, expressionless, gazed through the room like she wasn't truly there. "This," the Baron said, "is my daughter. She was once my heir, brilliant, gifted, until an off-world toxin destroyed her spinal channel. Now she is silent." The hall quieted. She cannot speak, cannot move, cannot even blink, unless commanded by the chair's neural link. A shame, really. The Baron smirked, then turned to Davin. "As a gift, human, I offer you my daughter. You may fix her, if you wish." A burst of laughter followed. Some thought it was a joke. Others saw it as an insult. But the Baron's tone made it clear. It was meant to humiliate him. Davin stepped forward, eyes locked not on the Baron, but on the girl. He kneeled beside the chair. "I'm Davin," he said softly. "What's her name?" The Baron chuckled. "She doesn't respond to names anymore." "I wasn't asking you," Davin replied without looking up. Something flickered in the girl's eye. A shimmer, a twitch. He stood. "I accept your gift." The laughter stopped. Back on Davin's ship, the Wanderlight. He carefully lifted her from the hover chair and laid her on a stasis cot in his med bay. The ship was old, its paint faded and systems patched together. But it was safe. He spent hours scanning her neural map. The toxin hadn't destroyed her brain. It had created a wall. Her thoughts were alive. Trapped, screaming for connection. Her name, according to her neural ID, was Leora Varzan. "I know you're still in there," he whispered, reading her patterns. "And I'm going to get you out." Weeks passed. Davin dismantled her hover chair, salvaging parts to design a neural interface that didn't command her, but translated her thoughts. He coded with care, using patterns he could control with sheer intent. Subtle shifts in electrical frequency, muscle memory, and even eye focus. Every time he came close, she blinked once, then again, and then words appeared on the screen. "I see you." Davin grinned. "Welcome back, Leora." With time, she began to communicate, first with text, then through a synthesized voice that Davin tuned to match her old speech recordings. She told him everything. Her life before the poisoning, her dreams of piloting ships, her love of star maps and logic puzzles, her hatred of the nobles who pitted or ignored her. She hadn't spoken in 6 years, but now she couldn't stop. And Davin loved hearing every word. He upgraded her suit into a sleek exoframe, lightweight, elegant, responsive to her brainwave pulses. With it, Leora could lift her arms. Days later, she could walk, haltingly. He modified the controls to give her tactile feedback and taught her to manipulate tools. She was brilliant, not just physically capable, but a genius engineer, strategist, and thinker. One night, while calibrating her sensors, she turned to him. "I wasn't a joke," she said. "No," Davin whispered. "You were a miracle." Word of her recovery spread. But instead of joy, her father, Lord Varzan, sent mercenaries to retrieve her. You are still mine, the message said. You walk only because of my name. You will return. Davin looked at Leora. We can run. She shook her head. No, we fight. They returned to the Baron's world, not as a crippled daughter and a worthless human, but as a team. The nobles assembled, expecting a public apology or plea for mercy. What they got was Leora standing tall in her exosuit, eyes burning with purpose. I am not a possession, she declared, and I am not returning. Her voice echoed through the chamber, projected from her frame. The nobles stared in silence. Then Lord Varzan stood. You think you can defy me? Alone. She held out a hand, and Davin stepped beside her. Not alone, she said, with a wave of her fingers. She activated a data bomb Davin had planted earlier. All the Baron's hidden ledgers, war crimes, and secret slaver trades were projected into the air. The hall erupted in chaos. The nobles turned on him. Leora and Davin walked away together before the first blaster fired. Months later, aboard the Wanderlight, now refitted as a rescue and defense vessel, Leora sat beside Davin in the cockpit. She wore her new suit, sleek, custom, fully autonomous. Where to next? He asked. She smiled. Wherever there are others like me, discarded, broken, forgotten. He looked at her, alive, radiant, unstoppable. They won't know what hit them.